The Aviron Fit Bike might be the most innovative exercise bike that I've seen released since Peloton first released their bike many years ago. At a distance, the Aviron Fit Bike looks fairly standard for a modern indoor bike. Take a closer look, however, and it quickly becomes apparent there is a whole lot of innovation going on here. In many ways, from its more modern ergonomic design with a 5-way adjustment system to its more responsive electromagnetic resistance, the Aviron Fit Bike feels like a step forward in exercise bike design. Though the biggest reason to choose this bike over other options is for what Aviron calls its mission to end boring workouts. Not only are there hundreds of game modes, entertainment options, and classes to choose from, but it is the consistent updates and depth to all of this that hooks you to keep you coming back for just one more. So let's dig into the Aviron Fit Bike with 9 things that you need to know. And if you want to stay up to date with the latest in home fitness or appreciate reviews that get right to the point without wasting your time, make sure to subscribe to connect the watts. While its space efficient 3.5 by 2 foot footprint is pretty typical for an exercise bike, the Aviron Fit Bike's reinforced steel body allows for more stability than most. This extra reinforcement enables users up to 350 pounds to get a stable ride, significantly more than bikes like Peloton, which can only support 275 pounds. Even more impressive, though, is the 5-way adjustment system. Not only can the handlebars and seat both be adjusted up, down, forward, and back, but the handlebars tilt can also be adjusted to any angle. I've mentioned in previous reviews that the Aviron rower allows for the most adjustability among its competitors, and it seems that they've kept that same design philosophy here when creating the Fit Bike. The only downside here is that while Aviron allows for more adjustability, it is a bit more limited than some others in the height that is supported. Aviron says the Fit Bike can best support heights of between 5'1" to 6'8", which unfortunately means that a few of you on the shorter side are sort of out of luck. Also included here is a tilting and rotating 22-inch HD touchscreen, 2 front-facing 10-watt speakers, 2 water bottle holders, and 2 toe cage pedals, which can be also upgraded to dual-sided pedals with speed clips. Now, most high-end exercise bikes control their resistance by moving a magnet closer or farther from the flywheel. Think Peloton, Nordic Track, or anyone who claims to have magnetic resistance. Now, the only problem with that is it can take a little time for that resistance to adjust, and there are also more moving parts that can be damaged, say when you're moving the bike from one room to another. So instead of typical magnetic resistance, Aviron went with something new, which is called electromagnetic resistance. And in this case, the magnet never has to move at all. And so it allows for instant resistance adjustments, as well as a decreased likelihood of breakdown over time. And this is also in part why Aviron can offer an optional lifetime guarantee, which I've never seen offered on any exercise bikes before. So it's a very good sign that Aviron is confident with their product here. And while I do love the feel and speed at which the electromagnetic resistance can be adjusted, it does come at a cost. In order to compensate for the quick adjustments and all the torque that's required, the Aviron Fit Bike needs to use a freewheel design, which has some pros but also some cons, like the fact that the bike is louder than other bikes with more traditional magnetic resistance. Now, most bikes use what is called a fixed wheel design. So that is where the flywheel is linked and synced in with the pedals. Now, the drawback of that is it can limit you to more gradual changes in cadence and can be a little bit more dangerous when you need to stop quickly. Aviron's Fit Bike instead uses that freewheel design, so the spin wheel can continue without the pedals being synced. So here you have a bit more flexibility to speed up, slow down, or even coast, making it feel a lot more like you're riding a real bike. But like I said, there are downsides to that, and there's 2 specifically that I noticed. One is because a freewheel needs to be supported by a chain, and so it creates a lot more noise than other magnetic bikes like Peloton. It's not a lot of noise, it's more quiet than a regular bike, but it is definitely noticeable. The other downside is that the chain makes it harder to smoothly ride out of the saddle, meaning standing up. So with the Aviron Fit Bike, it feels more like a bike trainer where the emphasis is always on riding on the seat rather than getting up and down. Another big positive Aviron has going for it is with how they have crafted a more consumer-friendly membership. For a price as low as $24 per month if billed annually, the cost for the Aviron membership is significantly lower than most other options. Comparing again Aviron to Peloton, Peloton costs $44 per month, so you're looking at a cost savings of around $240 per year. And maybe more importantly, if you choose to cancel or pause your membership, Aviron will still allow you to track your workouts and earn badges through your unlimited profiles. Now, this may not sound like a big deal until you realize Aviron is one of the only connected fitness companies to actually allow this. Peloton, Nordic Track, Hydro, etc., all of them disable all of these tracking features if you need to pause or discontinue your membership. Now, one thing that I do need to note here also is that if you already do have a membership through the Aviron Rower and then want to add the Fit Bike on top of that, you do need to pay an additional $10 for your monthly membership fee. Now, while I think everything that I've mentioned prior to this point has its importance, it is this category of games and experiences on Aviron that are easily going to be its biggest selling point. And when it comes to games, Aviron has really begun to nail it over the past few years, with now dozens of different game types, from battling wave after wave of pirate ships to rescuing burning buildings and fire trucks to shooting down hordes of aliens. I mean, there's a lot to choose from. Not to mention that most game modes have their entirely own leveling and progression systems, allowing you to unlock new levels and abilities within them. Most recently added, for example, is a new game mode called Sky Quest, which allows you to fly in a massive multiplayer open world to explore various routes and aim to hit various rings for bonus points to try to get a high score among dozens of others. Now, on top of all this, no matter which mode you are in, you will continue to both level up your overall account and earn experience points for every minute you actually bike. And these experience coins can be used to unlock additional bonuses, such as new backgrounds or avatars for each game. And since there is always something new to try or unlock, new workouts are released every month, it all just culminates into making your workouts with Aviron feel very rewarding. And while every game mode can be played solo, most of them also allow for multiplayer. Aviron has a group lobby where you can see what everybody else is doing, unless they have their session set to private, of course, and you can jump in with anyone at any time. Checking out the group lobby is actually one of my favorite ways to choose a workout because many of these game modes are just a lot more fun if you're part of a group. Then there is also an area in Aviron called the Time Machine, where you can check out all of your recent workouts or all of your friends' recent workouts, and you can see their scores and challenge them and basically race or go against the ghost. And at the end, if you end up beating your friend's score, they'll get notified about it, and then they'll have a chance to retake it to see if they can also beat you. So just really a good option if you and your friends are a bit competitive. Now, just because Aviron's specialty is games doesn't mean that they ignore instructor-led classes entirely. In fact, the Aviron Fit Bike is being launched with quite a few, I believe over 50 classes. And the quality of these classes are actually pretty good. The instructors and music aren't going to be on the same page as, say, Peloton, but it is definitely better than a lot of others. For example, I much prefer these than Apple's fitness classes. And while I wouldn't choose Aviron if all you wanted to take were instructor-led classes, I think it's great that they've stepped up their production here, added new classes, and are allowing members to further mix up how they want to work out. Aviron also allows you to connect to and view a wide range of streaming services while you work out, with options like Netflix, Disney+, Hulu, Max, YouTube, and Paramount+. It makes it easy to catch up with a show or movie while you get in a sweat. And like I mentioned previously, even if you're working out while watching a show, that will help you level up your account and earn experience points. So even with these entertainment options, you still feel like you're making meaningful progress. Additionally, Aviron also has included dozens of scenic rides that you can choose from. These scenic routes speed up or slow down relative to your biking speed, making them feel more immersive than traditional scenic ride videos. Finally, we have music. Now, each of these game modes come with their own songs and stuff, but if you're playing these games over and over again, you'd probably get sick of listening to the same music. So what Aviron does to help with this is they allow you to connect your Spotify account and play music or podcast or whatever you want to listen to through there. Additionally, the volume of this music can can be adjusted separately from the game sounds, so you can find the perfect mix that works for your setup, whether you're listening with the included speakers or through a pair of headphones. And while I've listed a lot of the options available with the Aviron membership, I've also skipped over quite a bit. There's a lot to explore here. Like, my favorite is the lane-based power play mode. There's a huge variety of what they call guided workouts, and even a pros versus Joes mode that allows you to compete head-to-head against elite athletes. The overall take here, though, is that there is always something new to explore or earn, and to me, that is the most compelling reason to go with Aviron over other options. There is certainly a lot to consider here, but I think ultimately, for most of us, it comes down to the games. If you like games, if you like playing with friends, if you like competition, if you like being entertained while you work out, if you like working towards earning new rewards, then I think you'll love the Aviron Fit Bike.